about legendary status, man, from the sports standpoint. Just I call him an icon, man. Sports, entertainment, won an Oscar, man. Kobe being Bryant, man. It's weird. I'm sure everybody knows the story by now because it's such a huge story. Him and helicopter with his daughter and the other 7. I believe there were 7 other individuals headed
9 total.
9 total headed to that AAU game. I'm not gonna lie, man. Like I was at my mother's house visiting my mother, and I had dozed off or something, and TV's on, and I woke up, just kind of gathering myself or whatever, and I saw on the TV there was how they flash a picture of somebody and they have that person's birth date and the day they passed away, and I saw 1978, 2020, and then you're getting yourself together, you look up, and I see Kobe's face, and I'm like, what? I'm like, nah. So immediately I jumped on social media just to see, what the trends were, if anybody had texted me or if anything like that, because everybody knows I'm a huge sports fan. We've always, all of my guys, we have the Kobe LeBron, Kobe Michael Jordan, those conversations, those get heated, any barbershop, anywhere. But as I continue to watch and, see more links start to come in, it just started, it was almost like a numb feeling where just like time kept passing. I just kept watching it, like hoping that it was fake, but now it's starting to set in like, man, Kobe Bryant, man, 41 years old, dog. Like I'm not gonna lie, man. I shed a couple tears the other day when I found out he passed away, because we watched Kobe since he was 18. Like we grew up watching him.
17.
17, yeah, 17. So I saw his whole career. We saw his whole career. We're old enough to remember that. Tough loss, man.
Definitely.
Tough loss.
Yeah. Thoughts and prayers go out to his family.
Yes. 3 remaining daughters and his wife, mom, dad, sisters as well.
I mean, a cultural icon, a legend, basketball-wise. He was in a different wave of life. Definitely about to prove some more things in the Mamba mentality way of life. So definite shout out to Kobe. I think a lot of people are torn up about that. And life is short, man.
Yeah.
Well, I think coming from someone who's not that I've had this extensive career, but who's worked in media before, one of the things that bothered me, of course, the fact that I always considered him to be younger than me, even though we're only like a year apart. When this young man loses his life along with all the other people, including his daughter, which is just incredibly sad, someone who's just really starting to live their life, is the fact that so many people wanted to be first. They didn't have, it should have, instead of being first, why not wait and be right?
Right.
Because I saw everything from all of his kids were on the helicopter to he was on there with Rick Fox.
Yeah.
And this, ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox all reported something completely different initially.
Right.
And, of course, one of the things that I thought was such a violation, because if you ever watch the news and pay attention when somebody passes away or is in a car accident or is a victim of violence, the police and the news, they don't notify or put that on the news until the family's been notified.
Right.
So I'm just imagining his friends and family seeing a TMZ report.
Right.
And I think, for the people who got heat for TMZ, rightfully so, because this just goes against everything. They're rushed to be first. It never crossed their mind.
It's never going to be any different.
Let's do this right.
I don't think they care. Like it's not.
It doesn't matter.
It's not a priority.
At this point in time, like it's never going to change.
And I understand it. People think, oh, it's Hollywood, and it's like, look, yeah, these people are rich and they're privileged and they live a life that we could never imagine as far as material possessions are concerned. But that still doesn't mean that they're not people. And this still isn't somebody's wife and somebody's mother who you're putting through unnecessary pain because you want to be the first to report something, even if it's sort of wrong. Yep. So
it doesn't matter anymore. It's get it out there and apologize later.
And I remember the only thing I could really bring myself to say on social media was, even if you have, even if you didn't care anything about basketball, the NBA, or Kobe Bryant, like if you have the smallest bit of compassion, just think about and pray for, Vanessa Bryant, which is it's crazy to say his widow now.
Yeah.
Because there's no amount of money that can comfort you when you lose your spouse and one of your children in the exact same day.
Yeah, and I'm like you said, in regards to TMZ, I think especially with the era that we're in now, it's a wrap for that. Like, it's just gonna be like the way they handled it. I wasn't actually surprised, not about them mentioning him, but the fact that they reported it. That's not new to us. Like we've grown accustomed to that. Like that's just how it happens. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, it goes. It's crazy about the narrative about fake news.
Oh man.
And you know what? When you talk about fake news, that we saw a whole cycle of fake news, and it didn't matter that there were no facts available. It's like, okay, well, it was Rick Fox and 4 of his kids.
All right,
it didn't matter.
Let me post that.
Well, then Lion Babe came out and said that no, that wasn't it. Because Lion Babe, I believe her mother is Vanessa Williams. And isn't that who Rick Fox is married to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's her father, I would guess.
Right.
Yeah.
And she was like, my father was not on the helicopter.
See? You see what I'm saying?
And the thing is, Ice Cube, when I saw him on SportsCenter, one of the shows on ESPN, he actually said, when I saw it come across my screen, the first thing I did was try to text him. Because he was like, me and Kobe knew each other, and that's the first thing that you do, because if you've been out there long, Hollywood tries to kill people. TMZ, they say, TMZ usually gets it right. Remember, TMZ killed Lil Wayne. Like,
fact.
TMZ has reported false stories many times. That's why
TMZ isn't a. I mean,
it's not.
It's just it's like you and me. Like we
it's
see
like
something happen, and then
it's the new Inquirer. I mean, remember when the Inquirer would
just
snap
say,
pictures and just say anything about somebody? It's just New Age Inquirer, just with the social media twist.
And this isn't new. Like I was on the air the day after Aaliyah passed away in a plane crash, but this once again fake news. This is how much people you find out how this whole distrust of the media is a long-standing, especially when it comes to things dealing with black people. Because of course it happened on a Saturday night. I remember getting the call, from people in the industry, and I was on the next day, and by that time they had confirmed it to CNN, and people were calling me the entire day. I saw on CNN that Aaliyah passed away. Is it true? CNN wasn't reputable enough. They had to call the guy who was working on the weekend at the radio station.
It's crazy.
Now I will wait to see.
I
CNN.
had to answer that question for like at least 100 people. That was I didn't take any requests that day. All I did was it was a rough day. All I did was confirm to people who called in to Magic 104.9 that that Aaliyah had passed away.
Let's put a bow on this one and go ahead and get into the topics that we have for the rundown. So is there anything else you'd like to add, or we can just end it there?
No, I don't have anything to add.
That's cool. All right, so rest in peace, Kobe, man. He will
Definitely
be missed. Legendary.